It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B-Ron. Alongside me is my co-host for the morning, Rick Blaze. Good morning, man. How you doing?
Hey, Ron, what's going on, brothers? Another beautiful day here in the Sim World. A lot to talk about. Let's get to it.
Absolutely. Let's jump right into it, shall we? The Washington Wizards, we got to start talking about them. They had a chance to end their 15-game losing streak last night against the Magic. They were up by 21 points. Unfortunately, the Magic were able to come back and win that game and allow the Wizards to tie their franchise record with 16 straight losses in a row. Do you think that the Wizards will set a new franchise record and make it 17 in their next game?
The Wizards are going to set a whole bunch of records for being sorry. Yes, I think they're going to just run up all the CAA awards as far as NBA basketball is concerned, led by none other than you guys love him, Jordan Poole. So,
At 26
yeah,
points in
man.
the loss, but it don't matter.
Hey, you know, look at my guy. Look at my guy. Hey, man, this sums up their entire team. That look sums up the Wizards' entire. What? What's going on? Nothing's going on. That's the problem. Nothing's going on. I mean, if you're a Washington Wizards fan, I mean, first of all, you can still have the Washington Wizards suck for a long. They sucked for a long time. I don't
Yeah.
know how you're still able to walk around the town as a Wizards player in the state in Washington because you should get jumped every time the guys see you just come out of anywhere.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
it is. It honestly is terrible. It is. This is one of those times where I have a buddy who's a Pistons fan, and I was given I I wasn't giving him any grief about their leadership that they went on, but I was like, man, like Wizards are bad too. So like if if the Pistons can go on that kind of streak, what are the Wizards gonna do when they get to that point? So they're you know a little more than halfway there to the Pistons losing streak. But their next game's against the Hornets tomorrow. So I think, yeah, man, I think they could beat the Hornets, but that might be me just trying to be optimistic about the situation, which is fine. A little copium, if you will, this morning.
Yeah. So, B-Run, are you? I mean, I guess I understand. So, are you a Wizards fan?
I
How
am.
does that work? How does that work out there? Is that like if you lose a bet, you have to become a Wizards fan or something like that? Like I could just, I think.
Given given my location, they're the closest team to me. So that's kind of what I rock with, being that I'm in Maryland. Wizards are an hour here up the road, so they're the closest team to me. Uh,
Do people
it,
still have
it,
to pay to go to the games?
unfortunately, yeah,
They're still charging folks money to go to
still
those games?
still trying to shoot money.
Like
I,
regular price? There's no 75% off,
I
end of business sale or going up big blowout sale or please come support our sorry asses sale? There's nothing like that that goes on?
that part I don't know. I can't comment on that. Obviously, I'm not paying that much attention to ticket prices because I'm not really trying to go to a game right now because they're not good. Um, but you know, I it's tough, man. It's tough because Jordan Poole, he is one of those players who he went from Golden State to Washington to try to be a guy, the guy on a team. But unfortunately, the team as a whole isn't good. So it's tough to be the guy when the team again as a whole isn't good, and you yourself, or finding out maybe, you're not that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's finding out now. I think the Washington Wizards organization is finding out now. They had a bunch of misfits on the team, and then they brought in Jordan Poole, who's probably the biggest misfit of them all, with a lot of talent now. Let's not sleep on his talent. The young man can play the game of basketball. Don't get that twisted. But it's like you can't have a bunch of 5-year olds being watched by a 7-year old. Like
Yeah.
there needs to be an adult watching the kids at some point in time. So what we have right now, the Wizards organization, the Wizards team was a bunch of 5-year-olds, and then Jordan Poole came over and said, "I can watch you guys. I'm 7." But 7-year-olds still doesn't qualify as a proper person to watch over 5-year-olds, and that's what we have right now. And I don't know what they're going to do with the Jordan Poole situation. He's making so much money for the team, and talk about no return on dividends. It
Yeah.
hasn't. They've
Hadn't paid
actually
off.
they're actually worse this season with him than they were last season without him.
Yeah, and the thing about the loss too that was also frustrating is that you know they led with Washington led by 11 uh after the first quarter, and then it ended up being cut to a 10 point or not 10 point, a what's that like a 8 point lead at halftime, and then they almost got 18 points in the third quarter. It makes it real difficult to try to sustain a lead or even put it out of reach. We almost scored 18 in the third, and the Magic scored 31 in the third quarter, and then followed it up with 35 in the fourth. Like the defense fell apart in the second half. Fell apart in the second half.
It's
um,
all I can say is it's the Wizards, and I understand your frustration, B Run, but I'm not surprised.
the
It
the the,
sounds
Mag- the
right on
Magic
par.
the Magic had this is the largest comeback of the season for the Magic. And the
Yeah,
last time
against
they
the
the
Washington
last time
Wizards.
the last time they did that, funny enough, they also came back from a 21-point deficit. They beat the 76ers. And that was late in January. And
So B
Wizards
Run,
last time they won a game was January 29th. So
yeah,
like
and I understand. And to the SimWorld listeners and fans, I'm sorry. We shouldn't be talking about the Wizards, especially as our first topic. But B Run is from the area, and he wants to get. This is therapeutic for him. This is why we talk about the Wizards today, because there's no reason other than that to talk about the Washington Wizards.
other than that, and they're going to set a franchise record for most losses in a row in a season.
Well, we knew it. We knew that.
So, well,
We knew that.
yeah. Well, look, if they can get a win, they'll pull some real magic out of their hats. But let's move on. Let's move on. Beast of the East and Gulf Coast are playing tonight. It's the game of the week, Rick. It's something that everybody's looking forward to for quite a while, and man, I'm excited for this one. What do you think is going to be the biggest difference in this game, in your opinion?
Lord, I need Gulf Coast to show up. Look here, man. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. Hey, sometimes teams got their night, sometimes it's not your night. Anything can happen. SimWorld prep, yada yada. Take whatever attitudes you want to put. Giving up 80 points, what Gulf Coast did last night to who be
Two
run?
nights ago. 2 games, yeah, 2 days ago to SimWorld Middle East. That was on.
To Middle
That was
East,
Tuesday. No,
bro,
yeah.
bro, bro. There's no, I. You can't just burn the tape. So obviously there's a hole in the ship of Gulf Coast right now, and they're trying to patch it up. And they're not getting any favors done having to go against Beast of the East because they don't have a hole in their ship right now. So Gulf Coast will have to dig deep down. This is a statement game for Gulf Coast. I think they need this win way more than Beast of the East does. This is a gut wrench. This is a deep down. Let's see what you got game for Gulf Coast. This is a gut check time, and we're gonna see. It can be a really good game, or it can be a massacre. I'm hoping for a really good game, but we will see. Interesting.
Honestly, yeah, this game we talk about those kind of statement games a lot, and I feel like this is most definitely a time for Gulf Coast where they need a statement win and a win over Beast of the East, who's, second place in the Founders region, one of the top teams overall in SimWorld Prep. They're on a 5-game win streak right now. They have a lot of momentum on their side. Gulf Coast has fallen on rough times here a little bit, hard times, Justin Rose would say. 2 and 3 in the last 5, and then again giving up giving up 80 points to Small Middle East in a game where they lost 80 to 73. It's not, they didn't get blown out, but that's a game that most people would think that they don't lose. But Middle East has had their fair share of games where they played well and upset some teams that you didn't expect to happen. So yeah, Gulf Coast definitely does need the win. I think for me, the biggest difference in this game I'm looking for is the interior play because Levin Cutler and JoJo
Uh huh.
Kearney for Beast of the East are real good. Ezekiel Bull and Deontay Joyce, they're also really good too. But I want to see how that interior matches up against each other. We know about Kai. We
Agree.
know how good Kai is. That's great. But what about the other guys?
Yeah, the other guys gonna have to step up for sure. Beast of East has several options they can go with on the offensive side.
Mhm.
This is a really good check time, not only for Gulf Coast, the basketball team, but you know that the other side, Coach Drayton, he's going to make adjustments during the game. He's going to throw something that you probably haven't seen. So how do you adjust and how do you go for that for Coach Heath? I'm looking for a good game. I don't think Gulf Coast 100% has to win, but they have to show up. They have to be competitive. This has to be a competitive game from start to finish.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, they need it in the worst. And the other teams are gaining on them in the standings. So Gulf Coast really need
Yep.
this to win for a lot of different ways.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Well, look, let's end this off with some shocking breaking news that happened last night
Good
after
God.
the Indy Stripes Indy Stripes lost rather to Queen City Kings. Dylan Harper no longer a part of the team. And this is one of those situations where there's a lot of mess around the team. Unfortunately, we know Indy's history, and it's repeating itself once again. Also, after the game, Dak Shiragane,
Mm, lay
also
that boy
fired as head
down
coach.
like
He's
he was
gone
playing.
too.
Did you see that,
He's
B-Rob? Look at the highlight. He laid that boy down like he was playing Twister. Right hand on green.
laid him
Go
down,
ahead.
and
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Dylan Harper, like I said, gone from SimWorld Prep and was going to focus on Rutgers. Where does Indy go from here? Do you have any overall thoughts on the whole situation?
I
Uh,
do.
yeah, take it
I
away.
do. If you're Dylan Harper, you can easily go to the Washington Wizards right now. They need you. Put Dylan Harper
How dare
on
you?
the Washington Wizards. Let's get some butts in the seats. Let's get off the snide. No, but in all honesty, from the players are kind of speaking out now after the fact. It's a very unfortunate situation with the talent like Dylan Harper, and then the coach who's now Shira gone, uh, not being looks like the best coach for the position for the job, and it was the mishandlement, the mistreatment of the way he handled the minutes or whatnot with Dylan Harper's situation. Some of the other players they were saying that they wasn't getting their just due as well. Now it's an unfortunate situation, but the flip side of it is maybe now we can see some red. Maybe now some of these other guys, who hasn't had the fair shot opportunity, gets a shot. All is not lost. Now, what they do from the coaching situation, I don't know. But these young guys now kind of get a chance to play Dylan Harper free, coach Shiragon free basketball, and hopefully they can revive the rest of this season personally for themselves and for the team. Put some respect out there and play with some pride out there.
Yeah, because they have some talented kids on that team besides Dylan Harper. We've seen a few of them. JJ Hoops. I think Andrew Gibson's pretty talented. Is what I've seen. Leah Lark,
Hmm.
even though he's injured right now, he was that spark plug kind of kid off the bench for them. They've had a few other Ken Fields, River Mirror as well. They have a lot of talented young kids on that team. It's just a matter of getting them all to work together and play well together. And we'll definitely see how they all mesh together without Dylan Harper on the team. And I think for me, that's what I'm most excited about is what happens after. We know Harper's on the Rutgers now, and his focus is there, obviously. But what's next for Indy? We'll see. It's a shame the mess is repeating itself from last season, but I
Yeah.
think this time the future is maybe looking a little bit more brighter than it was before because now you don't have a lot of that negative energy um, following you around so much anymore. But all that being
D-Run,
said,
quick question
yeah,
before we get out of here.
yeah.
Which team will win? Which team will get a win first? The Washington Wizards or the Indy Stripes?
Ooh. Honestly, I'm a Indy. Indy. That's
Dang,
tough. I'm gonna take Indy on
that's
that one. I
tough.
know. I
There
know.
we
Well,
go.
look. Yep, that's going to do it for us here on SimWorld today. Thank you very much for listening and watching. As always, we appreciate you. Remember, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the notify bell so you can know when all of our shows, streams, and games, all the good stuff go live for you all. And remember, you guys, SimWorld's the only place where you can see the game, Be the game. We'll see you tomorrow.
This has been a presentation of SimWorld Sports.